Hello, everybody. Thank you all for joining. Second one today, but literally, the markets are moving so fast. So much is happening. March is going to be crazy. That's why I'm doing 2 videos a day, because there's too much to share. Now, in today's video, I'll talk about everything that's happening in March, some of the incredible gains, what's moving really fast, what sector I believe has bottomed, and what I bought today, as well as some deals for those in New Zealand and a whole bunch of other stuff. So let's go. This is a new sector called Alpha Trivia. Sometimes I show pictures. You got to guess what they are, but I'll tell you as well. And thank you to the mods in the chat and everybody for coming. Let's go. All of this, of course, is not financial advice. And we have another new Patreon member. Wolfman Racket Bull says, thank you, Patreon fam, for helping me create a great system that helps us better pack our bags. You're welcome. And the IA community is unlike no other community I've ever been part of. I'm very grateful for you all. Thank you so much, everybody. It's also the biggest and the baddest. So thank you all for being part of the team. The story today, again, we're just going to talk about how things are moving so fast and what you need to be a part of. Let's go. Start with some of there's even more Bitcoin news. I covered a lot of Bitcoin news this morning, but it keeps coming. The hits keep coming. Bank of America, Merrill Lynch, Wells Fargo to offer Bitcoin ETFs to clients. What's very interesting about this is the name in the middle, Merrill Lynch. Apparently, rumor has it, they were in the same boat as Vanguard, and they did not want to offer. But now, I mean, these three firms here have like probably 10,000 financial advisors, maybe more. They're now armed and dangerous, and they will now be pushing Bitcoin on their customers. What a good time. Better late than never. Well done. Let's talk about Peter Brandt as well. He's kind of a OG finance guru, and he believes Bitcoin will hit 200,000 this cycle. As a little Bitcoin update, he created a chart. You can follow him on Twitter with the thrust above the upper boundary of the 15-month channel. And the target for this bull run is up to $200,000. And yeah, wow, it's crazy. The players that are coming out of the woodwork making these extraordinary price targets. But literally, nobody knows exactly what's going to happen. But what I can tell you, there will be fireworks because this thing is so scarce. In addition, another interesting chart from the team at Blockware Solutions. This talks about kind of short liquidations and where we are. So we did see a large short liquidation this week, about $150 million. But when you compare that to previous bull markets, that was a liquidation for ants. Very, very small. And the point is, a lack of big, heavy futures liquidations points towards the prematurity of the current bull market, i.e. we're still very early. Once shorts are being squeezed left and right to the tune of hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars every day, that will be a sign of frothiness in the market. But right now it's pretty stable, and I keep getting questions regarding ETFs and options. Options should be coming to ETFs soon, I reckon about 2 to 3 weeks, if we're lucky. And let's talk about Bitcoin versus ETH real quickly. This is an interesting stat. Shout out to Sanjay as well. That makes a lot of this possible. Bitcoin and ETH usually see very positive monthly returns in the month of March. We're in March, everybody. It's March 1st. Happy March Day, if there is such a thing. But Bitcoin has an average return of 12.19% and has been green for 4 of the last 5 years in March. ETH has an average return of 22.07% and has been green for only 7 of the last 9 years. Interesting. But I do think Bitcoin is going to go up a lot more than 12% this March. Watch this space. It's incredible. In fact, Bitcoin is at 62,700. When I was streaming this morning, it was at 62. So it's gone up $700 since I've been away. That's how fast this thing works, but there's a lot of other stuff on fire. Let's talk about the crypto calendar, some events to look for that may impact you all. A new edition. Again, kind of trivia time, calendars. So big news, the Jupe LFG voting is happening on the 4th. Avalanche Durango mainnet is coming. A Matic upgrade is coming. Uniswap fee proposal is ending. What day is that? The 8th of March. Aptos has a $300 million unlock on the 20th. On the 20th, there's also a Fed interest rate decision. IMX have a $110 million unlock, and Optimism a $90 million unlock. Between those three, you're talking $500 million of unlocks for just 3 names. Do not be holding those bags, everybody. Be careful. In addition, Solana keeps making new records. Well, Magic Eden is now the new #1 NFT marketplace in the world. Black hole, as I call it. Everyone knows Solana is where they started and what they call home. But I think it's really important as well for Solana because it's just a confirmation again that the best dApps come from Solana, and it gives Solana additional exposure. And in fact, Mert said this recently today. He said, when it comes to things like hackathons, Solana can do hackathons to create brilliant businesses because they don't have to worry about things like scalability and layers and all that crap. It's all in one thing. So they can just focus on PMF, product market fit. And again, what's also happening is this is going cross-chain. So now people from Ethereum and Bitcoin, etc., can use Magic Eden. And it's getting big really fast. Well done to Solana and Magic Eden. In addition, the returns on Solana and SOLAlts completely melted my face since we started dabbling in these in October, November, December 2023. The returns are superb, but this is just a snapshot from today, a few hours. Win is up 132%. These are like memes, so don't buy them at all. But the dog memes are crazy. Myro, 45%. But other stuff as well, like Jupiter has had a huge return. We were buying Jupiter at 46 cents the other day. Now it's 61 cents. Massive moves. Marinade moving, NOS moving, Render moving, etc., etc. It's been quite stunning. And this is all reflection of the gamble we made over the last couple of years. Go hard on one ecosystem. This is the consensus trade, whether you like it or not, everybody. And then you got these canine dog things surging. I don't do these things, but by the way, I did get a Saga phone, and I didn't touch my bonk on my Saga phone. I checked the value of that stuff last night. I was stunned. Talking like you buy a phone for $600 and it's got $2,000 of bonk on it now. It's like, doesn't make sense. But anyway, that's just the world we live in. It's incredible. But this is a dog we've had or something. It's just completely going crazy. It's up 250%, I think, in the last 7 days. And it's part of the whole dog surge as well. It's not just dog with hat, although the Solana meme coins are going up the most, but other ones are out there too, doing quite well. Again, consensus trade, black hole theory, it's all playing. In addition, some other things are happening in the traditional world, merging to the crypto world. You got Robinhood is now partnering with Aribtrum, and Robinhood have a wallet, and now they'll let users swap tokens using Ethereum Layer 2 bridge Aribtrum. Woo for them. One day as well, they'll have another solution in their wallet too. Now, a quick bit of stock market news, and we'll get back to some more other stuff, especially crypto proxies, because they have also been crazy. Over the last 16 years, US stocks have gained 427% versus 85% for international stocks and only 36% for emerging markets. This is the longest cycle of US outperformance that we've ever seen, and that is from Charlie Bilello. Thank you for that. But it's funny because there's a guy who shills gold. His name is Peter, and he shills gold. The commissions he makes in selling gold, he buys emerging market stocks. So not only is or has gold not been a good buy, but anything he touches, not a good buy too. So be careful of the gold shillers or anybody who shills stuff. Speaking of MicroStrategy, that is up a monster 640% year to date, and it's going even higher now. Thank you so much, Mr. Hammer. Thank you for coming, as well as Nick M. 640% is completely bonkers. Now, this takes me to thoughts. Imagine not being long a crypto proxy going into the weekend, because you know what happens at the weekends? How many times have I told you? T+1, Bitcoin volumes. Let's check the BlackRock Bitcoin Spot ETF volume today. They did 34 million, and Grayscale about 18, so it's nearly double Grayscale. Fidelity, I told you they'd pop back, 15 million. You know what they have to do now? They're taking all the money from those things. They got to go buy the Bitcoin, and the OTC desks are bare. Bitcoin is going to pop this weekend. It's magical, and it's also scaringly predictable. So therefore, when MicroStrategy opens again on Monday, it's going to be higher. And it's hard to even think of MicroStrategy being over $1,000, but here we are. Crazy, crazy markets. Now, we did see a big minor divergence as well. People were freaking out this week. Literally hundreds. I had to do a special dedicated emergency video because people were losing their minds over the miners. Remember, first of all, everything mean reverts. We had miners triple, quadruple in the space of 2 or 3 weeks. And then they fall 10, 20%. People lose their minds after them tripling in 3 weeks. It's kind of funny. It was like, what was it the other day? I think Bitcoin went to 62K. It fell to 60. People lost their minds. That's after coming from 40 in about 3 weeks. Again, you got to just zoom out everybody and see what's going on. But what you can see in charts is this key divergence here. And what you see is the kind of WAGMI minor index with the red arrow. And you got the Bitcoin price with the green arrow. They diverged hard like we haven't seen before. And you know what you do when you see divergence? You get signal. And you know how you do what you do with that signal? You take action. So I called a bottom in miners this morning and I went in and bought a bunch of CleanSpark at $15.80. By the way, the last time I bought it was $6 and most of my CleanSpark purchases are around $2. And so it's crazy for me to be buying at this level. But I know that literally 3 days ago it was at $24. So buying something at $16 or $15.80, that was at $24. You know it's going to also mean revert to the down and the upside too. And that was exciting. So I expect good things to come from CleanSpark as well. Speaking of CleanSpark, it is my favorite miner. And I've been talking about it for a year and a half now. And February was a short month, 29 days. But it was also nothing short of incredible for CleanSpark. Their hash rate grew 60%. They now have over 16 exahash. And their monthly production increased by 12% in a hardening hash environment. They mined 648 Bitcoin. They now have 4,218 HODL, which is a big bag. A very big bag. Multiply that by 100,000 because that's what it's going to be soon if they can hold on to it. They deployed 132,000 miners. The month-end fleet efficiency is 24.68 joules per terahash, which is very efficient compared to some of the competition they're up against. And again, over 16 exahash. The crew is operating fast, and they're just popping something open in Mississippi. There's an interesting trend as well with the miners. In the US, for those who are not American, you got things called red states and blue states. There are literally no miners in blue states. It's all in red states. And it's just, again, further bifurcation. And red typically means the majority of people, I could be wrong about this, but the majority of people are kind of on the right, and blue is left. And blue states typically have expensive electricity and lots of rules and regulations. Red states, cheaper electricity, less rules and regulations. And the miners select the red states. Anyway, just thought it was an interesting occurrence to me recently. Back to TVL and crypto. TVL hit a new 2024 high, near 100 billion. In fact, I think that's the highest level since 2022. Could be off on that, but it's growing fast. Especially some chains, tons and tons of liquidity, and total value locked is happening too. Back to Cybertruck news, a couple of interesting things happened. It has now become the ride of choice. It is the most sought after vehicle on the planet. There are people that would pay $1 million to get one in China or Australia or the UK, and they probably will start popping up there someday soon. But trivia slide here, you see all these celebrities, and I had to get help. Shout out to Sanjay as well for helping with all the names, but you've got Jay-Z, Beyonce, Lady Gaga, Pharrell Williams, Jay Leno, Serena Williams, tennis player, brilliant tennis player, by the way, Shai Gilgeous, Alexander, no idea who that is, Justin Bieber, etc., etc. All these celebrities love their Cybertruck. Now, normally, these people get paid to hold something, drink something, smoke something, or drive in something. In fact, a lot of traditional ice makers had TV commercials with actors in them. They still do, even at the Super Bowl. I can't remember, the guy who dances was in a Beamer or something. Anywho, guess who doesn't pay for advertising? Tesla. You got it. In other funny news too, Ford got their hands on one. They spent over $250,000 to buy a Tesla Cybertruck on the black market. Whoever sold it to them is going to incur a $50,000 penalty, but still at a $250,000 price. Ford had to get their hands on this thing so they could realize how far they are behind. Now, I'm not an engineer, but I know so much stuff in this truck is so far ahead of where they are. For example, the steer-by-wire takes 3 computers to run. There are 3 computers that Ford does not have, nor can they make, nor can their suppliers make. They will be able to see this and they'll realize how far they are behind, and it's fun to watch. Anywho, speaking of Elon Musk, Starlink Deals. Anybody out there, any Kiwis in the audience? You can now get Starlink for 50% off the monthly payment for the satellite internet system in exchange for slightly lower speed, but still fast as heck. So I think it's about, I don't know the exact price, $79 New Zealand dollars a month, which, if anybody knows what that is, it's about $35. Bitcoin, by the way, just shot above 62,800 because of Jimmy's here. Thank you, Jimmy, for coming. But anyway, you still get 100 megabytes of speed for small dollars in New Zealand. And New Zealand has a lot of far-flung places, and that's where it can be very popular. Speaking of far-flung places, Starlink now is available in Mongolia, where there literally isn't a lot of internet. So that's great for the people there, people on the ground. And again, it still continues to make strides across the world. And that is the quick one for today, everybody. Just really cool market observations. It's going to be a great weekend. Bitcoin will pump. Crypto will pump. The proxies will pump on Monday when the markets open again. It's still hard to believe that stock markets are closed all the time. Again, a story for your grandchildren. They won't believe it. And I'll see you all tomorrow for the recapping of the week. Thank you again to the mods in the chat and everybody for coming. And have a great weekend. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.